Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Blue. We got another Charles KIRK video that we got going on. This one's going to be woke student learns her ideology is racist. This should be interesting. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
Economic and social equality. I don't know really what that means, but maybe you could tell me.
Interesting.
Economic and social equality. That means, he knows exactly what that means. Let's see what's going on. Support President. Okay, let's see what's going on.
Yeah, it means that like all people kind of get the same opportunities.
Like Cuba, or like Venezuela,
No, not like Cuba or Venezuela.
or like North Korea.
No, not like.
So, or like how the Soviet Union did it, right?
No, I'd like you to stop like interrupting me. I think that all those examples of like capitalist systems are ones that aren't.
The Soviet Union was not a capitalist system.
Yes, I know. And Venezuela is not a socialist system.
Sure it is. They nationalized their oil and gas reserves. They have nationalized healthcare, nationalized schooling. The government owns the means of production. How is it not a socialist country?
Because because of the history of U.S. interference, socialism cannot be like enacted as it should be.
It also sort of functions under the guise of socialism. I think a lot of the politicians
Venezuela is
are
still
corrupt.
corrupt as fuck.
Yeah, can you show me any socialist country that works?
Yeah, most of Europe.
So maybe Norway, Sweden, or Finland?
Yeah.
But they're more economically free than America.
How so?
On the World Economic Freedom Index, they're ranked higher than America.
And so what does that like mean?
So lower taxes, less regulation. So they're not, I wouldn't consider them to be socialist countries.
They provide healthcare for all their citizens.
So does Cuba. How does that work?
I'm sure
because they're like
Norway, Sweden, Finland also has a homogenous population.
I want to know about this.
yeah,
Why do
so-
you think? Why is that sort of thing
Yeah.
promoted?
Because it's 6
that
to 7
you need
million people.
They need a homogenized society.
You don't need it.
But what is? I don't
Yeah,
even
can
know
you
the
explain
They have
rationale.
low rates of immigration.
Can you explain to me why?
And so they
like,
have less people coming in their country every year that need Medicaid equivalent type social programs.
Can you explain to me why
They have the
having
strictest immigration policies in Europe, in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and they don't pay for a national military. 70 to 80% tax rates for the highest earners, of which I oppose completely. Sweden has full school choice, which I'm sure you support, right?
I don't.
Oh, okay, but Sweden has full school choice.
I mean,
Sweden's also ranked higher on
if
the
all
world.
schools are funded equally, then yeah, I would support school choice. But the fact is that schools in like richer areas have better funding and
So-
thus give people better education, as opposed to poorer areas, and thus poor people who can't afford to like choose that rich school, who can't commute, who can't like afford the tuition, are not going to be able to get that level of education.
So why is it that we've spent more on education in the last 60 years federally, but our test scores have gotten worse? Why do you think that is?
Because testing is not a measure of.
How about graduation rates? I mean, any metric you use, our schools have gotten worse over the last 50
So
years.
funding the
Where
less
have
is
they
going to
got-
fix that.
like
I'm sorry?
Where have they gotten?
Baltimore, there are 7 schools in inner city Baltimore where they can't find
So it's
one
probably
kid in
systematic
8th grade.
racism.
Oh, so wait, so do you think America's more racist today than it was in the 1960s?
In some levels, yeah.
Really? You think America's more racist today than it was in the 1960s?
I
Well,
think.
still more racist than it should be.
I mean, yeah, I want to say like.
And based off of videos before, this is a subjective statement, not objective, because it could be true for somebody, but not true for somebody else. So it's based off of experience, not reality.
I think like net racism.
I mean,
Do you want it to be more racist?
Yeah,
'Cause that's
but,
what it
like-
seems
No,
like.
it's not. Actually, I think
And you couldn't really know unless you go to Baltimore and see the schools, unless you go to all the states and see all the schools. So you can't really say some areas now are not as racist as they used to be. Let's keep going.
we're significantly less racist, so you can't blame racism
just
for why
'cause
these
something's
communities are
less
not
doesn't
doing
mean
well.
it's
Really, could you
No,
not blame
significantly
like? Could you
less.
not blame,
What
for
is your
example?
race metric?
Well, let me okay. So in the 1960s, blacks weren't allowed in the National Basketball Association. In the 1960s, the Civil Rights Act hadn't been passed until 1965. In the 1960s, blacks were not allowed to go to the same schools as whites. So, like, that's my metric. So we passed the Civil Rights Act in
I think those are
1965.
just kind of anecdotal.
Yeah.
Oh, how about this? We had a black president elected twice in 2008 and 2012.
Oh man, so since a black president was elected, we fixed racism, right?
We haven't finished racism, we're significantly less racist. So the talking point of the far left is that the inequities that the black community and minority communities are experiencing is because of systemic racism. In order for that argument to be true, America would have had the same sort of amount of racism over the last 60 years or gotten more racist. Any sort of logical analysis of history would show we're significantly less racist today than they were in the 1960s. So then what is it?
Any level of racism is still racism, dude.
I think there's individual racism, but the idea that there's widespread systemic racism does not exist.
Okay, what about, so here's an example. You guys want to, okay, so up until probably the mid 70s, like neighborhoods could choose not to sell homes to black people. That's why a lot of black people live in like certain like parts of town, you would say, and those are also generally parts of town that have like underfunded schools and stuff like that.
So the Asian community went through the exact same type of discrimination, yet the Asian community is the richest community per race in America.
So are you implying something about the black community?
No, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying the Asian community did not have a series of social welfare programs designed at them, such as federal welfare systems, broken public schools. The Asian community were one of the poorest communities in the 1940s. Now they are the richest community per race in America. How did that happen?
So you're saying black people are...
They were taking advantage. Black people are poor because of the Democrat Party, who got them addicted to government benefits, stuck them in clustered urban areas, put them in broken schools.
Is that the Democratic Party did all of that?
Yes. Show me one urban city where there's a Republican mayor. Show me one urban area where there's more Republican congressmen than Democrat congressmen.
Like currently?
Yes, or even the last 50 years. It's Democrats that run the urban cities. Oakland, Portland, Chicago, Philadelphia. But these are the most, so you said thankful, but these are the worst parts of America. The most murderous, the most bankrupt, the most hopeless are all run by Democrats.
Yeah, but there's no way you can like make some sort of causation if there's no sort of control for that.
Yeah.
You can't say it would be worse without a Republican. No, there's no way you can make that sort of inference. It's impossible. So you just can't make that inference.
Okay, so
when have data for it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
just stop trying to make shit up.
Okay, can I give you examples?
No.
No? Oh, you don't want facts?
They're not facts.
Do facts bother you?
No.
Okay, so
you are going to make up fake facts.
Republicans run.
I don't know if he's making up fake facts. If you're looking at the news, if you've been watching the news recently and you're seeing the states that are constantly going down on a decline, and let's just not even say that we're just looking at the news. Even if you look at YouTubers that go around these states and see exactly what's going on in the cities and talking to the people, see which color the state is. See which color the state is and see their situation, and then you'll see the difference. I'm starting to see that a lot. A lot of the blue states are in a heavy decline. It's based off of the leader. I don't know. I mean, they've been blue for a while and it seems like things just aren't working, but the red states seem to be the states that are doing just fine, that are doing decent, that are not in a situation like most blue states. I don't know. I could be wrong. Somebody fact check me, but let's keep going.
Cities, municipalities, and counties have much lower levels of poverty over 30 years, better run schools, more likely to balance their budget, much more business competitive.
That could be cool.
9 out of 10 of the most business competitive states in America are all run by Republican governors. And Republican, yeah, it is actually.
I mean, that doesn't...
Utah, Nevada, Arizona.
That doesn't necessarily have any sort of relevance to your point.
So why would you say that the broken inner cities in America all have Democrat mayors, and the best run states all have Republican governors? Why would you say that?
I would say possibly because people see that Democratic mayors and Democratic government officials can fix the broken system.
Have Democrats fixed anything in the last 60 years?
No.
No, you're right. Okay.
Because we've had a Republican-controlled Congress.
No, we've had a Democrat-controlled president from 2008 to 2016.
The president does not have like ultimate power over the
you're right.
United States.
Obama controlled the House and the Senate, passed the health care bill that destroyed 1/6 of our economy, borrowed trillions of dollars, raised taxes, grew government, and then Republicans took back the House of Representatives.
Honestly,
and
I don't know why you're so upset when you still have a ton of money, dude.
What do you mean?
I mean, you are.
I'm not upset. You're the one that just swore. I'm actually quite happy and thankful I live in the greatest country ever to exist.
Yeah, excuse me for swearing. I feel like this entire get-up is just you afraid of losing your economic and like white male privilege.
Wait, what privilege do I have as a white person?
A sunburn.
Yo, I did not see that coming. Yo, wait to make light of the mood, man. That's what I'm talking about. We need a couple jokes every now and then. Sunburn. Oh my gosh, yo, that's hilarious. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's keep going. Yo, what's going on, everybody? If you reached this far into the video, that means that you are a real one, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you. We reached 500 subs, which is great. Thank you guys so much. And that being said, we're halfway to our goal, which is 1,000 subs. Let's clap it up. So as a token of my appreciation, we're going to be doing a small giveaway once we hit the goal. But do know that as this channel continues to grow, the giveaway amount is also going to grow. But more details is going to come later on. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and like, subscribe so you can be part of this great community of living one get it. Let's go ahead and get back to the video.
No, seriously.
He's just ignorant.
Honestly, it was nice to meet you. Can I shake your hand?
Yeah, but can you explain to me?
It was nice to meet you. I'd like you to think about the way your actions affect other people, not just the white male people in this country, but everybody in this country.
What does being a white person have to do about anything?
I actually have a question.
Yeah, can someone explain to me what white privilege is?
Can I ask you a question?
They have a talk about Asian privilege,
Yeah, Asian privilege, because Asians in America actually are richer on average than whites in America. And so are Indian Americans, by the way.
Yo, interesting. See, and that was always the thing that makes sense. The lady does bring up the point. The president doesn't have complete control of the lawmakings and stuff like that, because you have checks and balances, which corrects that. The thing that tends to always happen is that policies will pass or policies may not pass depending on who you're up against. If you have a Republican president and you have Democratic House and Democratic Senate, then more than likely the Democrats, they're not gonna allow any laws or policies that you're trying to push to go through, because one, they don't like you, and that tends to be the case of what happens. And that's just the whole checks and balances thing. If you have a Republican president, then you have a Republican House, and you have a Republican Senate, then that's when a whole bunch of policies is going to be pushed forth. But then that's probably also when we have a lot of issues that come forth, because everybody's going to be in agreement. Yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah, let's do it. That's why we have checks and balances. That's why, to me, a lot of when presidents say that they're going to do X, Y, Z and they end up not happening, I feel like it could possibly be because whoever the House is, whoever the Senate is, if they're on the opposite side, they're probably preventing a lot of these policies from being pushed forth. That's not always the case. There's always ways around it, but yeah, that's kind of how that is. And again, this is really, look, the thing that we have to really consider is that, and I mentioned this in the last video, when it comes to the term reality has to be the same for everybody. Experiences was different. But no, interesting video nonetheless. I used to think exactly like she did, as far as making sure that everybody, is taken care of in a sense. But as I got older, as I started to grow in my career, as I start to increase my income, start to do things for myself and not being dependent on the government, that's when my eyes was kind of open, like, yo, I don't need these people to just keep sitting here sending me money. Like, screw government income tax, who cares? I don't like, it'd be nice if I do get money. Yeah, sure, because I can use that to leverage something else. I'm not gonna use that to just buy lavish things, but I'm gonna use it to my advantage. But the thing is, a lot of people don't use it to advantage, but at the same time, people don't take things into their own hands so that they can try and do things better. If you put in heavy emphasis, heavy desire to do good, something's gonna shake. If you continue to have faith in God that something's gonna shake, something's gonna shake. Either whether it be, and it's probably more than likely isn't gonna be in your timing. It's not gonna be in your timing, it's on God's timing. So whether your timing and his timing to line up, sure, great. But if it doesn't, then you just gotta be patient. Just keep doing what you're doing. If you get word from the Most High that you need to go and pivot somewhere else, then go ahead, pivot somewhere else. It's really just putting that you can't just sit idle and wait for the handouts. And that's what a lot of people do. We can't do that anymore. There are people that struggle, and that's the other thing. We can't sit here and say that everybody's just sitting and waiting and idling. That we can't say that, because there are people that go their day-to-day trying to make adjustments. There are people that go their day-to-day really trying to make ends meet, trying to get what they can for their family, just doing everything that they know what to do. The problem is they're not trying to find ways to get out of the situation. They're not trying to find ways to increase what they have. They're not trying to find ways to just grow. The idea, the mindset that happens is that this is the cards that I'm given. So these are the cards that I'm just going to keep playing with for the rest of my life because this is just what I have. There's no desire for growth. There's no desire for increase. There's no desire for change. If you ask for these things and you earnestly seek it, it will be given to you. It will be given to you. And I think that's the word that I just want to give everybody. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door shall be open for you. Jesus says it himself in Matthew's. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. All the atheists that's out there, you can say anything that you want. But you go to anybody that does anything that they do, they go and they go get it. They're going to say that, yes, there were times where things were tough. There were times where I was in a negative for a long time. But I did not stop and I maintained my persistency and I managed to get it. If everybody had that mindset, America would be a lot greater. There would be no need for all these government fundings, having to give this money and that money and stuff like that. I've seen the poorest of people get out of poverty having this mindset. People getting out of the hood having this mindset. It doesn't matter how broke you are. Heck, I have plenty of Haitian family members, older family members that come into America broke, nothing, and now they're doing great. Some of them doing great, some of them are not. But it's all within the mindset and what you're really seeking for. If you're asking God to just allow me to get to work so that I can make this dollar so I can pay these bills, that's all you're gonna get. That's all you're gonna get. Your mindset and what you're asking for gotta change. I need to be able to do more. I'm trying to do more. I'm trying to seek more, do stuff for your glory, all this stuff. And that's when you'll start to increase. Give to the community, as Jesus says. Then you'll see the increase. I'm not saying just monetarily, but just in general, you'll find that blessing. Anyways, interesting video. And as always, if you guys have any videos that you want to show me, that you want me to react to, go ahead and send it to my Instagram, send it to my TikTok, or send it to my email as you're showing right here. And I'll go ahead and react to it and then we'll see what's good. As always, if you guys like the video, go ahead and like. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I'm gonna catch you later. Take it easy. Peace.